So yeah, guys. So I was talking about process builder. Okay. So yeah, I have this thing. Okay. So you can create any process builder. Okay. So I had some process builder here. So this is something in inactive stage. Okay. So this is the place where you can see. So anything in validation rule, workflow rule, or anything, you will be able to see the status. If at all, if it is active, it means that it is currently working. Okay, so whichever record satisfies that particular feature, anything like workflow criteria or validation rule criteria or process builder criteria, if at all, if it is inactive, only then that particular workflow or process builder or validation rule, it's going to work. Otherwise, it's dummy. Okay, which means it's inactive. So I have another process builder in opportunity. I said like if at all, if the stage value is close to 1, okay. So I had this under opportunity and I said like only when a record is created. So only at the time when a record is created as a new one. So it will not work for the existing ones and all, okay. So only if I create a new one, this workflow rule is going to come and check like if at all, if the stage is going to be close to 1, okay. If at all, if the stage name does not equals to, what is this? So if at all stage name is not equal to null, okay, it says null. So if the stage name has any value, okay, then an invoice should be created, which means that I'm going to create an invoice object record, okay, a record from an invoice object having account name as opportunity, the particular opportunity which I'm going to fill. So I'll be filling some particular opportunity here, right? Like I'll be tagging with specific opportunity and that opportunity details will go into this one. Okay. So for the account name under invoice record. Okay. And again, email field under invoice record will be having the detail of opportunity that I'm going to create for this new account. Okay. So this is how you need to set the field reference. So you can pretty much have the different values also. So for example, I'm just going to clone this. Okay. So you will not be able to make any changes if at all, if it is inactive. Okay. Even if you deactivate it, you will not be able to change it. Yeah. So you need to click on clone and then version of new current process. You can have something like this and then click on save. Okay. So now you will be able to have this activate button and you will be able to make changes. Okay. So if at all, if you wanted to have something in string, okay, you wanted to name as SR. Okay. Let me just a minute. Yeah. So you can have something like HS accounts, something like this. Okay. So you can have something pre-populated. So the account name under invoice record is going to have account name populated as HS accounts. Okay. So Alagendra, yeah, I have uploaded all the files that are already there, like until yesterday. Okay. So you can go and have a check on it. Okay.
Okay, Sharon. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Sure. So yeah. Mm, so this is the thing. Okay. So you can have it in string or field reference. So you can have something like this, okay, which I told you. If you don't want this field here, you can simply click on X, or you can have some global constant, okay. So you can display to null, or you can have something like empty string, okay. Or you can have a formula as well. In formula, you can select like which field to select, okay. So under opportunity, I want account ID to be displayed as a opportunity name, okay. Or I can have something like owner ID, okay. And in owner ID, I can have something like alias. So I can have something like this and click on save. So the value which I get here, right? I wanted to have it here and use this formula and click on save. Okay. So you can save something like this, but since you have some, like error here, you need to clear that because I think I already had this thing here. So yeah. So yeah, you can have anything which is valid. Okay. So if at all, if you want it for amount, you can have the thing. Okay. And have this formula used. Okay. And now you click on save. So yeah, this is going to be account name. Okay. So I can have something in string. Okay. Let me pull out some string field. Let me have it as description. Okay. So yeah, incompatible with expected data type text. Okay. So I don't want this one. I want something this way. So yeah, you can have something like that. Okay. In account name. So these are all something that you could do it by default. Okay. Out of available fields that is there, you can have something like field reference. You can have like this, right? Like yeah, field reference. You can have something like description here. Okay. So I'm going to click choose. So you can have something like this, right? The account name is going to field refer to opportunity description. So this is the condition that you will be using, and you can also use this. This is not only like field update, you have different criteria that you can do. So for example, I wanted, so these are all the available actions. So yesterday in workflow rules, we saw email alert, we saw field update, we saw pretty much uh, outbound message, all these things. Here you have same features, but also some extra features are available in process builder as well. Okay. So you can call an Apex class, which is like a coding part. Okay. So you can call a class. You can create a record. So if at all, if a stage is close one, I kind of choose the create a record function here. Okay. Or you can send email alerts, which we already have in workflow rules. And you can also invoke a flow, which means you can also call a flow. Okay. So flows is something which I was telling. It's an important topic that you can call a flow using this process builder as well. And you can also post to a chatter group, which means that chatter group is something like, imagine it's like a Facebook homepage wall. Okay. So there you post something and it goes to all of the people that are there in that particular group, right? So if you have some group in Salesforce, I mean like Facebook, so on that group wall, whatever you post, all the members are going to see that particular post, right? So that's called as create a record. And yeah, email alert, you'll be able to send and flow post to chatter, which I was saying just now. And processes, you can do some processes also using process builder. And you can invoke a quick action as in uh, if at all, like if you go to an account record. Okay, you have email, logger call, new task, new event. These are all called as quick actions. Okay, so you can also do some quick action using process builder. Okay, and also equip it. So send custom notification. Yeah, that is outbound message. Okay, so that's called as custom notification. And submit for approval. So you can also submit for approval. So I was saying about approval process, right? So majority of the companies, right, like they automate the approval process thing. So it's not like user have to go and press on submit for approval. If at all, if the record meets any specific criteria, they'll be automatically, clicking like submit for approval. It will be done using this process builder. The process builder will automatically select submit for approval, and the user is automatically going to have that record submitted to approval, and approver is going to approve or reject it. Okay, and also update record, the field update, which I told you, right? So that action also you'll be able to do. So pretty much these are all the things that you will be able to do using process builder. Okay, so if you wanted to send email alert and update record, field update, right? You can go with workflow rule. But if at all, if you wanted to create a record or call a flow or call a coding class, or if at all, if you wanted to invoke any quick action or any send custom notification, yeah, that depends. Again, you can do it using outbound message as well. And also you'll be able to do it in the Salesforce field as well, right? Like the workflow rule as well. And submit for approval, which I told you. So you can invoke approval process as well in process builder. Okay. So these are all the things that you can do. So this is going to be the action which I told you, right? So if at all, if the record satisfies this criteria, then this action is going to take place. So that's the meaning. Okay. So what happens is generally a record, right? Like at the time of creation, this process builder will always be in active stage. If at all, if a user is creating any new record inside the system, it automatically, it automatically checks like the stage value. Okay. If at all, if the stage value is filled, okay, the meaning is if does not equal to null, which means the value should be filled. Okay. If at all, if the value is filled, then I wanted an invoice record to be created. So that's the criteria. Okay. So what happens is, if at all, if it is true, it's going to create a record, invoice record. Otherwise, if at all, if the record didn't satisfy this condition, then it is going to go to false to next condition. If at all, if it checks if that is, if at all, if the criteria that is mentioned in the second box, okay, there you will be, it will check if at all, if the field is like, if the record is satisfying this criteria. If at all, if the record is satisfying this criteria in the second loop, then the necessary action will take place. Otherwise, if at all, if it didn't satisfy that also, it will go to next. So it will go until you click on stop. Okay. So now I'm going to remove this and have like next criteria. Okay. So these are all the things that you can like set it in the beginning itself. Okay. So this recursion thing and all, if at all, if you don't want it on stop, if you wanted to evaluate to next criteria, you can also do that. Okay. So yeah, it'll, so what happens is, if at all, if it is satisfying this one, it will just create this record and stop. What if the record satisfies second category also? So there you need to have something like evaluate to next criteria. Okay. So if at all, if I wanted something like contact ID, contact ID of okay, birthday equals date equals global constant null. Okay. So I'm just going to have something like and gonna click on save. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to give some name for this. So if at all, if that criteria, so I imagine if a record is satisfying these two loops. Okay. So there I need to click on this and have like evaluate to next criteria. Okay. So if at all, if you have some business criteria saying if the record satisfies any of the one loop, then the thing should stop. Then you need to have stop the process. Otherwise, evaluate. Maximum in the end loop only, you will be pressing stop the process. Apart from that, you will be pressing like evaluate the next criteria. Okay. So any doubts, guys, until the class which I took today? So today I just gave the heads up on process builder. Like tomorrow I will deeply go into each action. Okay. So I will show you how to create a record, how to email flows, all these things. Okay. So how to invoke a flow or how to post to charter, quick action, submit for approval, update records, all these things. Okay. So any doubts? Yeah, I can share that link. Again, yeah. So this is the link. Okay. So you guys can access the recordings there. Okay. So yeah, have this somewhere start. Okay. So anywhere like or have this bookmark so that you don't have to search it every time. Okay. So yeah, so I think pretty much you guys got what and all I taught today, right? Like anything like the formula field and all exclusively it depends on the business condition. Okay, so if at all, this is like basic formula which I just put you guys, but if you go to thing, like you need to apply your logical mind into it. It's not always like Salesforce. So the thing that you are gonna put it like is blank and all these things, right? Like you're just going to make use of the functions that are already there to achieve some function requirement. Okay, so they'll be giving like 2 3 different fields, saying I want, if at all, if these 3 fields are blank, or if at all, if these 3 fields are blank and have some specific values. So this is how the criteria that the business owners are going to give you. Okay, so you just need to apply your logical mind to select the necessary function to achieve that functionality. Okay, so Salesforce, they have set up the platform for you. They have given all the buttons, all these things. You just need to apply your logical mind to make use of that thing. Okay, so if at all, if you have knowledge on this and or is blank, so these are all kind of like functions. Even the similar like object oriented program, they make use of. Okay, so if you're well versed in this, yeah, you can make a very good use of all these features and achieve all these things in point and click itself without having to go to coding part. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys, thanks a lot. So for next 2 days we will be on off. So I recommend you guys to have a hands-on practice, okay, on validation rule, approval process, or workflow rules, or whatever. Okay, the profiles I told you, right? Like the settings and profiles and sharing rules, all these things. Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Have a nice weekend.